So any questions you've got on the side, just put them into the little chat box, and then we'll answer them wherever we can. So we've got quite a bit of stuff to go through this morning for you guys anyway. So over to Claire.
Okay. Well, welcome and thanks for joining us on this live. I'm sure you all know us by now, but if you don't, I'm Claire and Andrew Bowen. We are coffee shop coaches, and we're authors of The Daily Grind, How to Open and Run a Coffee Shop That Makes Money, which I'm sure you've all read. We work with coffee shop owners all over the world to start up successfully, to become more profitable, to expand, and eventually to sell. Now, this live is because this situation that we're in with COVID-19 is the largest global crisis that I have ever known in my lifetime. And I'm sure you all feel the same way. We're all in this together. As coffee shop owners, we empathize totally with you, everything you're going through, and we're trying our best to work with you to help your business survive and come through the other side. We've been affected ourselves throughout our business by visits being cancelled, by programs delayed, by the London Coffee Festival being postponed for the time being. So it's affected us as well as you, but it will affect everybody on the planet one way or another. In my previous life, I was a nurse and a midwife for 25 years. So from the health professional's point of view, I'm still in contact with a lot of my old colleagues, so I'm getting a lot of information through those contacts, and our hearts go out to everybody involved.
Yeah. So Claire's, to kick off really, we've got a load of information. There's a lot of information out there, and Claire's trawled through the internet and trawled through as many bits and pieces as we possibly can. So we just take you through, Claire will take you through really the things that are available for you. In terms of grants, etc., etc. So
what I'm going to talk about now is basically the UK, because that's where we're based. But I'm sure this is very, very similar to every country over the world. The governments are doing similar sort of thing, and this is a very fluid situation. The government is giving us daily updates and changing things and introducing more help for you guys. Every single day. So what I've done, I've searched everywhere I can. So at this moment in time, this is the information that I've got together and summarised for you in the UK. I mean, the government is putting more updates. They've put together a package for you, but it is changing daily. The first one I want to talk about is grants. Then I'll go on to loans and other help that the government has introduced. The first one is a grant. Now, the important thing with a grant, as opposed to a loan, is that you don't have to pay it back, which is really, really helpful for you with your cash flow problems. And you've got to get it. It seems to me that the grant system is based on your premises' rateable value. So if you haven't got a business premises, you won't be able to get this grant. And it was all down to your rateable value. You will be given up to £10,000 through the local authority if you have a business rates premises under 15k.
So if your rateable value is less than 15k, or you're getting business rates relief, or you're getting rural rates relief, you automatically get a 10 grand.
So this is really, really important. And if your business rates are over 15k,
if your rateable value is more than 15 grand but less than 50, you'll get a 25 grand.
I apologise. 25 grand. But this is for the retail, hospitality, and leisure sectors. This is really important. You don't have to do anything. the local government will come to you, and they haven't given a timescale yet. They're saying by April.
Yeah.
So sit tight and wait for that. You don't need to ring them. They will contact you through the appropriate things. They have also stated that they're going to give businesses a rates holiday. So you won't have to pay any business rates, for the next 12 months. And in fact, what I would do, if I was you, I would cancel your direct debits so that then no mistakes will be made and nobody can take money out by accident. So there is question marks over businesses that have no business rates or who are exempt of business rates. And at the moment, we are waiting for updates on that. So the grant is purely for businesses that pay rates and have a rateable value. We'll put a summary up on the screen. Sorry for the earlier confusion. We'll put a summary up on the screen after I finish this, which is really, really, you can ask us questions. Just summarise it for you all. Okay, so that's grants. So if you're eligible for a grant, that is fabulous because you don't have to pay it back. Now, the next government scheme is called the CBIL, which is the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme, or CBIL for short. Now, the difference between a loan and a grant is the loan you do have to pay back. But the loan you can apply for, and it's up to £5 million, which is an awful lot of money. But you obviously have to justify how much you actually need. And the best way I've found, there are lots of sites that you can apply for through the Business Bank website, but the advice I would give you is to go to your existing bank your existing bank provider, because they know you as a business. And it is designed for you to get through the application process easier. It's 80% of the loan is guaranteed by the government and 20% is guaranteed by you. However, you are liable for the whole loan. And you will have to apply to your loan provider for this. There is no, at the moment, I can't see, don't know what the interest rates are going to be. And when you apply for this, your bank will talk you through exactly what you need to apply. But as far as I can see, you will need your full accounts, preferably for 2 to 3 years. Now, this is your full accounts, not your abbreviated accounts that you file to when you file your business rates, your business accounts. It's your full accounts, and your accountant will help you with this if you can't get hold of them. But you have to show your projections when you get back to normal. This is obviously, in recent times, what is you're taking at the moment is not what you need. You need your previous accounts to show how your business has grown, how you're developing your business, and your projections for when everything comes back to normal. With regards to sole traders, we don't know yet, and we're waiting for more. Yeah,
it's not as straightforward. The thing with this grant as well, with this loan, is that it's interest-free. I don't think you've said that yet.
I've said
it's interest-free for 12 months. So when you can apply for this loan, but it is interest-free for 12 months.
And when you apply for the loan, they may well ask you for personal guarantees. Now, we've always said that if you can avoid personal guarantees, please do it. But the bank will probably ask for a personal guarantee. And if that's the only way you can get the loan, you've got to weigh up the pros and the cons for yourself. We did have a question about changing existing loans to the new CBIL. And what I found out so far is that if you have an existing loan, if you change to a CBIL, you will incur a lot of fees that you will be charged. So at the moment, the advice is to leave all existing loans as they are, and if you need to, apply for a CBIL separately. As I said, the the government will cover the interest payments for 12 months, for the first 12 months, and that is fluid at the moment. It might be extended, and that we don't know the interest rate. I think that will also come from when you apply. You will find out what the interest rate is. But this loan is to keep you afloat and to keep you here, so that when we come out the other side, you have a business to run. Other thing is we've heard that business rates will be cancelled for the foreseeable future, and if you pay by direct debit to your for your business rates, cancel your direct debit. They can always reinstate it, but cancel it to keep the money in your account. The other things that we have are from the HMRC. They have VAT payments. Now, the latest guidelines say that you must continue to submit your VAT returns, your quarterly VAT returns to HMRC. However, they will defer the payment. So keep filing your VAT returns, but they will defer the payments. So you keep the money in your bank account and cancel the direct debit to the VAT man. They can always reinstate it. And what I would say to you, when the VAT payments restart, negotiate. If you can get through to them, because I know the lines are really, really busy, negotiate after you get back to work about deferring your VAT payments further. We've done it in the past ourselves when we went through a crisis in our business, and they have been told to be sympathetic to you so that you can defer payments even further when we get back to work. The other thing, statutory sick pay is now going to be covered by the government, and all this, and this will be coming through the PAYE, and the coronavirus job retention scheme, or furlough, as a lot of you have heard. Now, this is something that the government has put together so that you don't have to lay off your staff when you're not open and not working. It means, as far as at this moment in time, 80% of your staff's wages will be covered by the government, up to a cap of £2,500 a month. So if your staff gets paid more than that, it's capped. But it's 80, and if they pay less than that, it is still 80% of their wages. And remember, the government knows exactly what you pay your staff because of the P32s and the real-time information that they get when you do your payroll. So they will know how much your staff cost. So this is called a furlough for the employees. It's designed to stop you laying off staff. And it's paid by the HMRC, and as I said, it's via PAYE. The one thing that I've picked up, because you've all been really good at diversifying and going to takeaway and going to deliveries and supporting your local community, but one big red flag that comes up when I look at this scheme is that when you have your staff on furlough, they cannot work. So if you are running a slimmed down business with your staff and paying them less wages, they will not be entitled to these payments. So you need to weigh up the pros and the cons. What you are making from staying open with a smaller menu, smaller for takeaways, you have to bear that in mind to this furlough payment.
If you're open, that's fine, but they can't work. So if you decide to carry it on yourself, you can't just have somebody sneaking in to get paid their furlough pay, because the member of staff will get a notification from the government around to that fact they're not allowed to work.
So you've got to weigh up the pros and the cons of staying open for deliveries and what have you. And if you are the only person employed in your business, you're not entitled to anything if you stay open.
Yeah. Hi, Mark's just made a question there, and Brett from before. I'll just answer Mark's question. So Mark's asking that his team are all part-timers on 0 hours contracts. I'm right in saying this scheme furlough is not able to help them. They are employees though. So it is designed to help them, and I'm guessing they'll look at the average for the last month to pay them. So if unfortunately they didn't do any hours in the last month, I think that's how it works. Whoever's employed on the 1st of March, I think. Yeah,
it's from the 1st of March is the cut-off. So you can't suddenly employ people and then they're not actually working your business. It sounds good, but it doesn't work that way. So it's from the 1st of March cut-off point. But the HMRC have got all their records are being paid backdated to that. So if for any reason they have very little in the last month, I'm sure they will. I'd like to think that the HMRC will look back further to help these people. But the 0 hours and the self-employed is very sketchy at the moment to know exactly what is available out there. Is there any other questions?
Well, we got one from Brett earlier about the Sybils, get the money up the banks about early settlement charges. I think the final detail about this Sybils scheme is coming out this week. I think it might be live this morning on the business banking website. I'm guessing there'll be a few hoops to go through to get this money. This isn't going to be the easiest way of getting cash. No. But because the government are going to guarantee 80% of it, it'll make the whole purpose is you're able to get over the hurdles that normally banks put on a loan. So because they're going to give you the extra 80%, the 8% guarantee, then you should be eligible for it without putting too much stuff up.
Yeah, and that is the whole point, the hurdles, because if up until this point in time, if you went to a bank for a loan, it's not always easy to get it. So the whole point of the Sybils is to get you over the hurdle, to get you more able to get it.
We got another question from Brett here as well. I'm unclear of the mechanic of the furlough. Do we pay them via a weekly payroll system, then claim back from HMRC? And is this reimbursed monthly, which is quite a while? As we understand it, it's going to come back like a reverse payment through your P32s. So you'll get it back.
And your P32 is a monthly payment that you pay. It's all still so early at the moment, and there's so many questions about weekly, fortnightly, monthly pay dates. I think what the government wants you to do is to pay as normal, and then you will get the money back, which is not good for your cash flow, but that's how we understand it at this moment in time, and more information is coming out all the time.
Okay. So we got another question about rent, which you're going to go on to rent in a minute.
Yeah.
You covered SSP?
As I said, the government is going to cover SSP. So whereas previously you had to cover it, so the government will cover that. And this is all very, very fluid, and it is changing by the minute. So this is what we believe is happening now.
We got a question there from Maker about rent. So we'll just talk about rent now. There is nothing really about the rent yet. All I can recommend is that you speak to your landlord, speak to your suppliers as well, anybody that you're likely to pay money to. They're all in the same boat as us, in truth.
Yeah. And I think that's really important to when you're speaking to your suppliers and your landlords. They are in the same situation as everybody with work and cash flow and payments and everything else. So be kind, and I'm sure all your landlords and all your suppliers will want you to be there when all this passes and you reopen. Yeah. So the relationships that you have with them now will pay dividends in the future. And I'm a great believer in if you don't ask, you don't get. So speak to your landlord and ask them how they can help you. Speak to your suppliers about credit terms and all things like that. If you don't ask, you don't get. But remember when you're speaking to them that they're suffering with us.
We've got a question from Annette here about the pay again for the furlough. Do we look back on what they've earned over the last 13 weeks? Well, we're not certain yet.
We're not certain yet. We know that the government, the PAYE system knows exactly what they've been paid. You shouldn't have to tell them what they've been paid because of the real-time information that you send every time you do your payroll. They have all the information. So you shouldn't have to tell them.
So we've got a nice little a little grants sheet
so
here.
Just really, if you can see the screen, we're trying to share with you a summary of all this, so that you can try and make sense of all the information out there. So going back to the grants are free. It's free money, you do not have to pay it back. And you're only entitled to the grant if you have a rateable business premises. So if your rateable value is less than 15K, or you're getting business or rural rates relief.
Yeah, so you don't actually so even if you don't actually physically pay any rates because you're on the rates relief, you still get this money back.
Yeah. And you are entitled to up to £10,000. It's paid by the local authority rates department automatically. You do not have to apply for it. They will automatically give you this grant, and we're looking at April before the payment actually comes through. If you're a bigger business with a rateable value of more than 15,000 but less than 50,000, you may be entitled to a grant of 25,000, and it works automatically the same as the previous grant I spoke about. The business rates has been cancelled for now, so you do not have to pay business rates. And I advise you to cancel your direct debit so that no mistakes can be made. The money is better off in your bank account than their bank account. Going on to the HMRC, the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme, or the furlough, are for all staff not working in your business. Now remember, they are not working in the business. So if they're working even a few hours in your business, they are not entitled to this. The government has guaranteed 80% of their salary up to a cap of $2,500 per month. So if your employees earn less than that, it's still 80%. And if they earn more than that, it's capped at $2,500 per month. And this will be paid through your payroll system from HMRC. You do not apply for it, it will come through your system. The summary on the VAT, all payments have been deferred. You must still file your VAT returns as normal, but again, I would cancel your direct debits so that the money isn't taken out by accident. If you are, obviously, if you are liable for a VAT rebate, that will come through the same bank details that they have, but cancel your direct debit payments. And statutory sick pay is now covered by the government. So as an employer, you don't have to pay, it will come through automatically from HMRC through your payroll system. When it comes to loans, the government-backed loans is up to 80% loan guaranteed by the government and is interest free for 12 months. So you have to apply for those loans, they're not automatic. And we advise you to look at the Banking Business website to see what providers are out there to apply to. But my first point of call would be your existing bank, the bank that you bank with every day. And also the advice at the moment is not to try and transfer existing loans to the new loan system, because you will incur lots of fees. Leave your existing loans alone and then apply for the new loans separately. And with your suppliers, sorry?
Well, we've got a message, we've got a question from Annette here about if you keep the business open with just 2 people working, can the rest of the team get the furlough payments? Well, yes is the answer.
Yeah, at the moment they're saying yes, as long as those people who are getting the furlough do not work at all in the business, whether that's delivering takeaways or anything, they must not work. If you stay open, as far as we can tell, the people who work in the business, regardless of how many hours they work in the business, they do not get it. This is all a very fluid situation, and the government, I am sure, will come back to us, will tell us the updates as they come, but that's how we interpret it at the moment. It's a very confusing situation, I know, but you just listen to all the updates, look at the local government websites,
Yeah, it's very fluid.
and stay up
fluid.
to date. And we will try and help you as much as we can on this, because we're researching it as well. But going back to your suppliers, your landlord is your supplier. Don't forget your landlord. You know, the electricity, utilities, everybody. Talk to everybody to try and defer your payments. But remember that they are all affected. Your suppliers, your landlords are all affected by this coronavirus as well as you, and they have their income cut as well.
And we've got another question, another supplementary from Annette here. Do we as directors get furlough payments? Well, if you're on the payroll as a director, then yes, you will, as long as you turn yourself off, as long as you don't work. Mm-hmm. If you're not on the payroll as such, or if you don't pay yourself that much on the payroll, like a lot of us do, we take it through divvies, then we're not going to get as much.
At the moment, the government help does not cover you if you don't have a salary. If you do have a salary, you are covered by this, but you must not work in your business. So that is the balance that you have.
And to be honest with you, looking at what's happening in the high street at the minute, this morning Costa have said they're closing, Starbucks are closing. I think there's not going to be many of you that are really going to be able to open going forward. I think you're going to have a lot of time in your hands, and I think a lot of you guys are going to go on to the furlough. So from Brett, this is the issue on self-employed. There is nothing at the moment. Yeah. If you're self-employed and you're not on the HMR, you're not paying yourself through HMRC, then it's a lot less. I think they've said you can have £94 a week in terms of a grant from.
Yeah, but also this is a lot of people saying help the self-employed and everything else. So I'm sure something will be coming.
I'm sure something will. I'm sure something will happen. But not yet. Nothing's been admitted today. So the other thing we've done. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. We've summarised that. I've put the if you haven't taken a screenshot of that, I've put it onto our website. That sort of help guide, and we'll keep on updating that. We've looked at what we can do, because obviously we got no clients, we're not visiting anybody at the moment or whatever, and we're here to help. If you may have heard of our Profit Boost program, which is a 12-month profit boost program, we work with clients online to go through every aspect of their business. We've turbocharged that now, so we're launched so instead of taking a whole year to go through, we'll do one session a month. We're effectively done it. We've condensed it into a 2-week program. So it's the Cafe Success Profit Boost Accelerator program, where we go through every single aspect of your business. And I think if you want to come out of this stronger, then you need to use your time wisely. It's a great opportunity now to look at every aspect of your business, and to sort of start at the top and work your way through. Look, start every sort of from your menu to your pricing to what you stand for, to your website, to all those things, because you are going to have a bit of time in your hands. And if you use it wisely, then you will come out at the other end stronger. You will have a more profitable business. So now is the time, and that's what we're doing. We've set up this new program called the Cafe Success Profit Accelerator Boost, 1 hour per day for the next 2 weeks, and we're going to run it. And to join, it's just £99 upfront fee, and then it's a £49 a month for the rest of the year, where we'll take you through live. And this is live training. This isn't just a load of videos where we just upload them and you work out yourself. This is where we actually work with there'll be no more than 10 people in the group. And we will take you through every single aspect from, your to get the sizzle back into your business. We'll look at benchmarking. We'll get you real clarity. We'll, make sure you're never surprised with your cash flow again. Look at how you layout. We can look at your layout to improve those little things that make a massive difference. Just pretty much everything we work our way. It's as I say, it's a 12-month program, but we've condensed it down into a 2-week program, so it'll be 1 hour a day for the next 2 weeks, starting next Monday. So if you want to find out more about that, I will. I'll just put it in the details here. It's on our website. It's catholicsuccesshub.com/boost. So have a look at that, guys. Right, hang on. I got Mark's. So yes, Mark, absolutely. Mark said here, I'm thinking we should keep posting good content on social media. Yes, absolutely. Now's a great time to do that and to build your following.
Yeah, and also to support each other, because as I said, you can support your everyone else in the same boat as us, but positive postings will lift everybody. And so yes, please keep posting, keep supporting each other, and any ideas that you have, you can share with others.
You know, building up that community support. It's a great opportunity now. You need to be leaders in your local community, really, helping, supporting. You've got a great, you know, I know you might have got a sort of a mobile offer there as well, haven't you? So, you know, you can actually, you know, be really proactive with that and support. And I think people in the long term will remember the people that helped them in this dark days. So if you're out there showing that you're helping and supporting the community and supporting your team as well, because that'll, you know, that's, you know, you want these people to come back with you. You know, you've got to look after your team. You're the leader of the group there. You're the leader of your team, and you've got to show leadership.
And these things that the government has put in place is to keep your team, so that when we do come through the other side of this, and we will come through the other side of this, you have your team there all ready to go, who are all trained, and you don't have to start from scratch again. So look after yourself and your team.
Every day at a time.
Yeah. And deliveries is helping the community, and as I said, the community will remember this in the future. But bear that in mind with the furlough, about your staff that you're still keeping on. It's up to you to decide whether it's financially beneficial for you to go on to furlough or to stay open, and only you can decide that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think last week you could probably get away with staying open. I think this week it's going to be really difficult. I think I know that your team are going to be worried about getting it. More and more people are going to know people with it, and it looks like, you know, by the end of this week, it looks like we're going to have, you know, we'd be in the thousands of dead as opposed to the couple of hundred. So I think Annette's got a question there. I'm also aware that you don't have to put everyone on furlough. What would be the benefit of not moving them? I don't think there is a benefit of not moving them. I think if you are, the only benefit of not moving them is if you were making more money now you were closed. One of our clients has gone over to making pizzas, doing delivery pizzas. They've luckily got a pizza oven, and they seem to be doing really well on that. So here, if you have got something that is naturally takeaway, and if you're in an area that's not full of Domino's, then that would be a great opportunity. A local pub to us has gone on to delivering. 2 or 3 local pubs have gone into deliveries, and they're keeping their kitchen going. So they're obviously making some money. They were oversubscribed yesterday. You know, you couldn't order Sunday lunch yesterday because they were full. So there obviously are some. Although I understand last Sunday was Mother's Day, so there's an opportunity. You know, but we'll see. I think
it's a matter of looking at your numbers, and you analysing your numbers, and only you can say whether you're better off staying open and doing all of this, or you're better off going on to furlough. It's very hard to do both. Yeah,
and Kelly's asked about insurance. Well, I think you need to look at your own insurance. From what we've heard, what we've seen is that, and what we've talked to some clients around, is that some insurance companies are treating it differently. So even if the government do say it's, you know, you've got to close because there is a force majeure exemption in their policy, or stroke the COVID-19 wasn't known about when the insurance was there. That basically the insurance companies are trying to get out of it, which is why the government are trying to help us.
Yeah, and your insurance is only as good as when you make a claim. So we've always said in the past, take out business interruption insurance and be insured appropriately. Now's the time to find out how good your insurance is and contact them if you can get through to them, and ask what is available and how you can claim.
But I think the message, you know, our message to you guys is that, you know, you have got to lead from the front, as Akut says, is concerned about the staff. They're like family supporting their own household, so fingers crossed we get through it all. I think that's absolutely, people will remember how you treated them in this dark time, and you know, you need to take this opportunity to look at your business and take now's the time. Everybody say you haven't got enough time to work on your business. You're always working in it. Well, you can't work in it. So now's the time to work on it. So start looking at, everything really, from your menu to your buying, to your marketing, to your layout, to your staff costs, to rotas, to opening hours, to opportunities for future turnover. It's there's so much you could look at over the next few weeks. I know you're probably not thinking that, your brain is probably frazzled like ours, but now's a great opportunity.
I heard on the TV.
Buckle down really, and if you can start looking at your business from the outside and working on it, which is what our coffee, which we'll help you with at a starting next week, 1 day a week, 1 hour per day for the next 2 weeks to take you through the full Profit Boost program. And I put the link in the chat.
Yeah, and I can see that Kelly has said about the Federation of Small Business might be helpful for advice. Yes, they will, and we're a great supporter of the Federation of Small Business. But again, they will be inundated with people contacting them. So bear with it to get through and ask for help.
Yeah, I think we're in uncharted territory there. In terms of giving people furloughs, you're still going to have a consultation meeting with some description just to say, this is what's going on. But although furlough, believe it or not, is not a recognised employment law term,
no.
So they've obviously made that done that on purpose, the government. So that it is new territory. So if you look at anybody's employment contracts, a typical employment contract will have a provision for a layoff, but it won't mention anything about furlough. But
again, the Federation of Small Business will be up to date on all of this, and they're a good port of call to speak to if you can get through. And
we got a question here from Kurt again. Can I just clear something for people? I think the generalisation is that the loan will help pay our employees their wages while they are closed, as we will be claiming it back from HMRC to help pay our own personal life expenses. And the grant will basically help to pay for the shop expense in the long run. I think,
that is a generalisation about it. They're all geared to keep you going and to keep your employees going, so that everyone has an income, and we're all here to pick up the pieces when we come back out to the other side. So it's a bit of a generalisation to say that there's the grant, there's the loan, and there's the furlough. They are all geared to help you get through this and to support your team, and they all have different ways that they can help you. So it's not really a generalization one to the other, but the main thing is that the grant is free. That is the main thing, and the furlough is to give you the ability to keep your team and pay your team so that they can survive, and you have a team to come back to, a trained team to come back when you open.
Right. So unless there's any more questions, hopefully you've had some benefit from this. If you go to our website, coffeesuccesshub.com/boost, I've put the that chart on that page, and you can have a look at that, and you can look at if you want to join us for the next 2 weeks doing our accelerated program, acceleration boost, profit boost program. Then that starts that starts next Monday. Quick question for Mark. If a teammate gets event temporarily work elsewhere, supermarkets, do they forfeit the furlough? I'm guessing they will. And because it's done through HMRC. So the minute they appear on the HMRC website, as a new employee, then they're gonna not get that, aren't they?
Yeah. And the idea of this is so that people can stay at home and stay safe, and not to transfer the virus through the population.
But if somebody's on a 0 hours contract, they've only done 2 hours in the last few weeks, then 2 hours at 80% is probably better off working at Aldi. Yeah. Okay. Right. And that's it. So stay safe. Yes. Hang on. How do you pay a loan back when you're not open? It's a good question, John. Well,
Well,
the loan is interest free for the first year.
Yeah, for this interest free.
Interest free, so you don't.
So when you go for the loan, you will speak to the loan provider, and they will work out with you how you're going to pay it back. But the idea of this loan is not to make you have less money, because you have to keep paying it back, is to give you the money to keep everything afloat. So the loan provider will be the person to contact, and also the interest rates will vary from everybody.
I think the loan thing, in truth, I'd be looking for my money from the rateable value.
Mm-hmm.
And getting that through the 10 grand, the 25 grand, those are the first things you're going to see. Hopefully, you're not paying business rates at the moment. You're going to get money back from the job retention scheme, the furlough. So hopefully, and you're not going to pay any VAT at the moment. If you're paying any SSP, you'd have to pay that at the moment. So I would, if you've got a larger business, then yeah, you might, and you need some cash flow, then yeah, the loan might be the way to go. But if you just got 1 or 2 coffee shops, then potentially, I wouldn't have thought you'd need to go through all that rigmarole of going for a loan, because that will just take you time. And we've got a question from Doc. You have to be the leader. They're looking at you at these tough times. You've got to do what you've got to do. This is temporary. Let's get through it. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
And get through it together.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much. And thanks for attending this morning. And we hope you get through soon. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.